Hello, and welcome to the Changes Compendium for Pokemon Gen 2 to Gen 4, Gold, Silver, and Crystal to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm on draft 2.5 of this video because it's been too many months since the actual video this was for came out, but it's midnight, so I might as well do something. Now, if you didn't see the last Changes Compendium video, which I don't blame you, I didn't really know a lot about editing audio back then, but what we're going over here are the move and Pokemon changes that happened between these two sets of games. I'm going to try not to ramble on about every Pokemon. I might not even mention something for each Pokemon, but I will be showing a screenshot of my notes for each Pokemon that I've gone through, and you'll be able to look at them, as well as there's timestamps in the description for every Pokemon shown here. Now, these changes do not have any bearing on competitive aspects or anything into the post-game. This review is just basically going over from Professor Elm to beating Lance the first time at the Pokemon League. You'll see what I mean once I start going through this little introduction section I have here. Alright, here we go. Any Pokemon not mentioned here cannot be found in both Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver before the post-game. Of course, Heart Gold and Soul Silver adds the 5 new evolutions of Yanmega, Licky, Tangrowth, Ambipom, and Mamoswine, which you can obtain before the Pokemon League. Heart Gold and Soul Silver also adds a few more Pokemon that you can get, being Kangaskhan, Misdreavus, Murkrow, Larvitar, Mr. Mime, Grimer, and Clefairy, which are in the base forms of the new Johto Safari Zone areas. I'm not going to expand on everything in the Safari Zone because it just takes a lot of time to go and get different Pokemon that you want, and this little video by Lyra Meta website also goes over that, so go and check that out. In the Violet City Pokemon Center, you can find Primo, who will give you 3 eggs that you can get from certain phrases that you can look up on some website, and it can come with a Slugma egg, which you couldn't get back in Johto in Gen 2. Also, I forgot to mention, on the path to the Johto Safari Zone, you can find Diglett. Also, I'm not going to be going over any egg moves, since I feel like you're not naturally going to find egg moves without looking them up, and if you're really going to go through the power and time to go and breed egg moves onto your team, then this video has already been surpassed by your own information. Mostly all fully evolved Pokemon, except for Ditto, Unknown, Wobbuffet, and Smeargle can learn Hidden Power, which is Unknown's only move, Frustration, Return, Swagger, Sleep Talk, Rest, and Attract by TM in Gen 2, plus Facade, Secret Power, Substitute, and Natural Gift, which are added in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Snore and Endure were also universal in Gen 2, but Snore is no longer a TM, and Endure is in Kanto in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so will be left out of the minus moves category, though if the Pokemon still learns them, they will be noted. The TMs for Curse, Toxic, Hyper Beam, Protect, Solar Beam, Giga Drain, Psychic, Double Team, Dream Eater, and Steel Wing are in the post-game in Gen 2. This list of around 30 TMs that I'm not going to read out, and the HM for Rock Climb are in the post-game in Gen 4. A little side note, I realized a little ways through making this list that I had mistakenly omitted Solar Beam and Avalanche being available before the post-game in Gen 4. I've tried to fix it without recombing through a third of the list's Pokemon I have here, but I don't think they'd be game changers if I failed to catch anyone's in my recollection. Using the old move list as a baseline, they are fairly uniform between Gold and Silver and Crystal, but Crystal will usually be used unless otherwise noted. Also, the physical special split has happened in Gen 4, meaning that moves are no longer physical or special based upon what type they are, but are physical or special depending upon what the move actually is. You'll get a physical Fire Punch and a special Flash Cannon. Finally, every Pokemon is given at least one ability that they can have. These abilities vary between being useful or not, and some can drastically help Pokemon, or change how they play, or just, be a little goofy. That's the introduction out of the way. Let's start going through the Pokemon in Johto Pokédex order. Meganium doesn't really gain anything besides a couple normal and grass moves, but Swords Dance is pretty cool, I guess. Typhlosion retains the Defense Curl and Rollout combo from the Gen 2 TMs, in addition to Lava Plume and Eruption from Level Up. Focus Punch, Focus Blast, and Shadow Claw are new TMs for it to learn, which kinda offset the loss of Dynamic Punch and Thunder Punch. Feraligatr really appreciates the physical special split, with physical Water Stab, as well as the addition of Ice Fang to its moveset, as well as Crunch, Aqua Tail, Thrash, and Superpower just by level up. It has a long list of TMs it can learn, and Waterfall, because it didn't learn it in Gen 2 apparently. Now, Icy Wind and Ice Punch are kinda sad to be missed, but what you get in return are pretty good. Pidgeot's got some cool new bird-related moves, and the new TM of U-Turn, allowing it to pivot out, in case you wanted to use Pidgeot. For what many people consider the better bird, Fearow gets one less ability and a handful of less moves than Pidgeot did. Noctowl fans are very excited about the new Air Slash move and extra sensory that Noctowl can learn, in addition to the now special Shadow Ball, and Noctowl now getting Flash, which it didn't get in Gen 2. One of Raticate's abilities is the Guts ability, a new ability which, if you are statist, you have your attack doubled. This also negates the attack halving of the Burn status effect. Also, the new moves it gets like Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, and Crunch, as well as Thunderbolt, Pluck, Ice Beam, U-Turn, they're all pretty good for Raticate. Now, if you remember from last video, we had a whole lot of updates to Gen 1 normal types, because Gen 1 normal types seem to like to learn a lot of moves. Well, guess what? It's not just Gen 1 normal types, it's normal types in particular. Like Furret. I'm not going to read out all of these changes for Furret, because it honestly gets a whole lot that I didn't expect that it would get, including Whirlpool, which is very funny. Butterfree's compound eyes slightly help with accuracy, but what's mainly important here is the addition of special bug and flying type moves for it to use. It's a decently good time to be a Beedrill fan, with the addition of Bug Bite and Poison Jab to Beedrill's moveset by Level Up, as well as the addition of Swords Dance and U-Turn from TMs. Ledian is trying to take after Furret for having a whole lot of new TMs that it can learn, but having U-Turn and Special, Bug, and Flying Stab are okay, I guess, for Ledian. Now with Ariados, you can't really mess with perfection, but the addition of Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, Pin Missile, and Poison Jab as level up moves are pretty good. It only learns new universal TMs, and it only lost Screech, which was only in Gold and Silver, so if you used Ariados before, then you know what you're getting into now. Graveler and Golem are our first double feature here. On pages like this, I feature 2 Pokemon from the evolution line, because it's usually hard to evolve into the final form, or you just can't for some reason. Anyways, they're not a whole lot to say about them. Rock Polish, Rock Blast, and Stone Edge are pretty cool, and you can run Focus Blast if you're a weirdo. Now, Graveler doesn't get Roar and misses out on Fury Cutter in Gen 2, and Focus Blast in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I'm very sorry to inform you of that. Even though Crobat and other friendship evolutions are extremely hard in Johto for some reason, or maybe it's just me, I'm just going to be putting Crobat here because why not? Anyways, Crobat gets the new moves of Cross Poison and Poison Fang, which are really interesting, to replace its old physical Poison Stab, which used to be Sludge Bomb. Oh wait, no, it didn't get Sludge Bomb in Gen 2 when it was physical. So, what was even the point of using one? Wigglytuff is a Gen 1 normal type. Just look at all the moves it gets. And all the moves that it loses, too. And honestly, it was hard even trying to decipher what moves it does and doesn't get anymore, because it's a cluster trying to decipher between the movesets of Igglybuff, Jigglypuff, and Wigglytuff, which are all like minutially different. Togetic might have Serene Grace and a pretty good new list of moves that it can learn, but what it really wishes for was that Togekiss was not in the post-game. Sandslash's sand availability can let it dodge attacks sometimes during Sandstorm. That's kinda the most interesting thing about it. I mean, Aerial Ace and Shadow Claw are cool. Gen 4 is really good for Arbok. It gets a brand new back sprite that doesn't look sad. Intimidate and Shed Skin are amazing abilities. By Move Relearner, you get the Elemental Fangs, as well as Stockpile, Swallow, and Spit Up by Level Up, and the new Gunk Shot, which is massively pretty cool. Dunsparce gets some new toys to play around with its Serene Grace ability, and learns Dig by Level Up now. Ampharos, for some reason, retains Fire Punch, which was a Gen 2 TM, but now also gets actually reliable Electric Stab and Discharge by Level Up, and Thunderbolt by TM, which it didn't get in Gen 2. Also new moves, Signal Beam and Power Gem are pretty good, and Focus Blast for if you're feeling lucky. Quagsire gets the ability Water Absorb, and the TM for Waterfall. Haunter and Gengar get the Levitate ability, which is extremely banger for them, and they're so happy that Ghost moves can be special now that the TM for Shadow Ball they just learn by Level Up now. They also get Dark Pulse, which is a new dark move that is really good, and Nightmare, which was a TM back in Gen 2. TMs, Thunderbolt and Focus Blast are really cool, and Sludge Bomb being special stab now, and actually being learned by them is pretty cool. Except, Haunter doesn't get Dynamic Punch and the Elemental Punches in Gen 2. It doesn't get Focus Punch, Focus Blast, and Drain Punch in Gen 4, and misses Headbutt, Rock Smash, and Strength in both. And just like last time, gets Thunder in Gen 2, but not in Gen 4. Because Unknown gets the Levitate ability. Onix and Steelix really love their Gen 2 TMs because they retain Dragon Breath, Curse, and Iron Tail from the TM list in their level up moveset, as well as getting Double Edge and Stone Edge and the Elemental Fangs by Move Relearner. Oh wait, but Onix misses on Dragon Breath and Defense Curl and Rollout in Gen 2, which is really strange, and it misses Steelix's Elemental Fangs and Dark Pulse in Gen 4, and misses Cut and Crunch in both. Because why use Onix? Weepinbell and Victreebel get the Chlorophyll ability, which doubles their speed when the sun is out, so if you're feeling frisky, go for it. Stockpile, Swallow, Spit Up are neat, Leaf Blade and Leaf Storm are cool, and Swords Dance by TM are, they're actually pretty good. Weepinbell only misses Victreebel's new level up movesets, starting from Stockpile on the list there in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Otherwise, it's just a weaker Victreebel. Jump Pluff gets Chlorophyll, and Leaf Guard? Parasect's Effect Spore ability is pretty cool. When the opponent makes contact with Parasect, it has a chance of giving it a random status condition, and the Dry Skin ability lets it suck up water in exchange for taking even more damage to fire moves. But you get Cross Poison and X-Scissor by Level Up, and Swords Dance and Aerial Ace by TM, so that makes up for it, right? Poliwhirl gets Wake Up, Slap, and Dig, which are pretty cool. Poliwrath retains the TM for Dynamic Punch into its level up moveset, and Politoed gets Bounce and Hyper Voice, which are cool, I guess. Gyarados is one of the very big winners of Gen 4, with the Intimidate ability lowering the opponent's attack, having physical moves in its move pool, like Aqua Tail and Ice Fang, as well as the new Dragon Dance to buff its physical attack, and its TM pool is pretty good, with Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, and Flamethrower. I mean, you're not really gonna need much else. Seaking's Swift Swim ability makes it a speed demon during the rain, as well as its new moves of Poison Jab and Mega Horn being quite useful. And at the very least, if you need a Pokemon to use Whirlpool, it can now do that for you. Slowbro is looking pretty alright. It gets the new move Zen Headbutt, which is a physical psychic type move that flinches, which is really great for a really slow Pokemon, but you do get Yawn and Slack Off, which are pretty nice to have, and quite a few TMs to my surprise. In addition to getting the Hidden Power TM added to its level up moveset, Slowking also gets the new move Power Gem, which is a special rock type move with 100% accuracy. So it's very, very nice. I'll go over Gloom here for if you just didn't want to use Bellossom and Gold and Silver, and it, sets a little bit of a baseline for what changes with Vileplume and Bellossom. From level up moves, it gets Mega Drain and Giga Drain, which was a Kanto TM back in Gen 2, as well as the TM for Swords Dance. Vileplume gets Aromatherapy and the Gen 2 TM for Solar Beam into its level up moveset, while Bellossom gets a Leaf Blade, the TM for Sunny Day into its moveset, Magical Leaf and Leaf Storm by Level Up, as well as the TM for Sludge Bomb. Hypno is pretty interesting. It adds the move Nightmare to its level up moveset, which it got as a TM back in Gen 2. The new moves of Psybeam and Zen Headbutt are pretty cool. I love Psybeam. Switcheroo can swap items with the opponent, and Nasty Plot can buff up your special attack. For TMs, Focus Punch and Drain Punch let you rock on the physical side, and Focus Blast and Grass Knot let you tackle the special moves. Kadabra and Alakazam are looking pretty good with their Synchronize ability, and the new move in their level up moveset being Calm Mind, which increases their special attack and special defense all at once. Ditto. Forretress isn't one of those Pokemon you would think would get that much, but Toxic Spikes, Bug Bite, and Payback are pretty cool additions. Earthquake, Dig, and Reflect from TMs are also pretty cool. And it gets Zap Cannon by Level Up, which was a Kanto TM in Gen 2 that it didn't learn, which is pretty weird. Nidoqueen and Nidoking are doing a lot better than they were in Gen 2, with actually getting a decent amount of coverage moves, and Poison Stab on Nidoqueen is nice, and Earth Power, and next. Yanma is another big winner of this game. Speed Boost and Compound Eyes are really good abilities. Having Pursuit and Ancient Power and U-Turn in your level up moveset are very nice. Air Slash and Bug Buzz are new special stab options for it, as well as the TMs for Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Silver Wind, which are very nice. He also evolves into the new form Yanmega, which has better stats and swaps Compound Eyes for Tinted Lens, as well as adding Night Slash and Bug Bite to its moveset. Sunflora's Chlorophyll ability allows it to double its speed in the sun, making its Endeavor and Leaf Storm even more potent, as well as its new move of Grass Knot by TM. Exeggcute and Exeggutor also get the Chlorophyll ability for their horrendously slow speed, but they at least learn the move Psychic, which was a Kanto TM in Gen 2, by level up, as well as the new Seed Bomb and Wood Hammer if you are Exeggutor. Sudowoodo rocks up with the Rockhead ability, making its new Wood Hammer move give it no recoil damage, as well as the new moves of Sucker Punch, Double Edge, and Hammer Arm in its moveset. You're looking pretty good with Sudowoodo. In case you miss a juggler outside of Goldenrod City on your adventure, and you just really want to make sure he doesn't switch out one of his 4 Voltorb, you can use Wobbuffet's Shadow Tag ability to stop him from doing it. Even though Venomoth isn't really getting a whole lot of new moves, its new abilities of Shield Dust and Tinted Lids are great, Signal Beam and Bug Buzz are really cool, as well as Silver Wind if you're feeling lucky, U-Turn as a TM is great, and having Special Poison and Special Bug moves are amazing. Scyther and Scizor really make the bug catching contest worth it, with the new abilities of Swarm and Technician boosting up their moves, as well as Fury Cutter from Gen 2's TM being a level up move, and X-Scissor and Night Slash being really good physical moves. By TM, you also get Aerial Ace and U-Turn. Pinsir is doing nothing but winning this generation. Revenge, Brick Break, Vital Throw, X-Scissor, Thrash, Superpower. That is a stacked new set of level up moves. For TMs, Focus Punch, Dig, Earthquake, Rock Tomb, Focus Blast. I mean, you could run Rain Dance on Pinsir, it's whatever you want. Along with 2 great abilities, Heracross rocks up with the new Close Combat move, which is very, very damaging. Night Slash, Aerial Ace, and Brick Break are one of many options you can run for Heracross this generation. Weezing is flying high with the Levitate ability, and getting Sludge Bomb by level up instead of by TM is also very helpful. Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, and Dark Pulse are wonderful TMs for it to learn. Magneton's Magnet Pull ability lets you lock in the 3 steel types you'll fight against in the game, but what we're really looking for is Discharge and Mirror Shot and Flash Cannon, which, I mean, just having new electric moves are cool, like Discharge, and special steel moves are wonderful coverage. Electrode's Soundproof makes it immune to sound moves, and its static ability can paralyze opponents upon contact. But what we're really looking for here, say it with me now, thank God for Thunderbolt! The greatest blessing Aipom has received is growing up into Ambipom and actually being usable. You see all these new moves you can use with Aipom? Use them on Ambipom. For the love of God, do not use Aipom. Granbull has Intimidate and is a Gen 2 normal type, and you know how normal types go. Vulpix is a very odd case in these games. It was Silver exclusive, not even in Crystal, and you can't get a Firestone in Silver until you get to the post-game. This isn't a problem in Soul Silver, but I'm not going to count Ninetales' Gen 2 moveset against Vulpix. Anyways, Vulpix and Ninetales' new Fire immunity, thanks to Flash Fire, is really cool. The new status move Will-O-Wisp immediately burns the opponent once it lands. Extrasensory and Nasty Plot are new in its level up moveset, in addition to the TM for Fire Blast now being level up. TM for Solar Beam and Dark Pulse are pretty good, and you can't really go wrong if you need a fire type. Since Growlithe appeared in both Gold and Crystal, we don't need to discount Arcanine this time, but just look at this amazing set of moves. Reversal, Fire Fang, Crunch, Heat Wave, Flare Blitz, Thunder Fang, Solar Beam, Aerial Ace, Dragon Pulse, Strength. Standler's looking pretty awesome. Intimidate's a great ability, and Frisk looks for the opponent's item. Getting Calm Mind by level up is neat, but I'm more focused on Zen Headbutt, which is a nice physical coverage move for it. And for TMs, I mean, it's a normal type, what do you expect? Azumarill becomes worth using thanks to the Huge Power ability, doubling its attack. Primeape's new additions make some normal types envious, but what we're really looking for here is Close Combat by Level Up and Earthquake by TM, so use Primeape. Persian's Limber and Technician abilities are cool, but also remember that Meowth has Pickup, which is very useful. As for moves, it's, a Gen 1 normal type. But look at Fake Out. Fake Out is very, very useful. I know you Golduck fans were waiting for this. We can finally use Water Gun in Gen 4. But there's also Aqua Jet and Sand Headbutt. That's cool, I guess. And Aerial Ace and Focus Blast and Shadow Claw and Ice Beam. How are you gonna compare with Water Gun? During a Johto playthrough, Machoke and Machamp are no different. Guts and No Guard are amazing abilities. Revenge, Wake Up Slap, and the Gen 2 TM for Dynamic Punch are new level up moves, as well as Focus Punch, Focus Blast, Payback, and Flamethrower for TMs. You can't really go wrong with Machamp. Tyrogue gets Fake Out by Level Up. Hitmonlee got pretty much what it was looking for. Brick Break, Revenge, and Close Combat are great fighting moves. Blaze Kick is great coverage, as well as Earthquake. My man Hitmonchan gets the new Iron Fist ability, which boosts the power of its punching moves, like Bullet Punch by Level Up and Drain Punch by TM. It also, like Hitmonlee, gets Close Combat and Earthquake. Hitmontop outperformed the other two in which abilities it got. Intimidate and Technician are great, Close Combat and Earthquake like the other two, and Aerial Ace. Girafarig gets the new Zen Headbutt as well as the TM for Psychic in its level up moveset, and by TM it gets Thunderbolt. Tauros is very intimidating with its new level up move of Giga Impact, the now physical version of Hyper Beam, which is special. Its TMs are a Gen 1 normal type, but it doesn't get as much as you would think. But it gets Whirlpool. Miltank's Thick Fat ability allows it to take less damage from fire and ice moves, and Scrappy allows it to hit ghost types with normal type and fighting type moves. And it's a normal type, so it gets a whole lot of moves, including Whirlpool as well. Magmar's Flame Body ability allows it to burn opponents on making contact. Its new access to Fire Spin and Feint Attack are pretty cool, and the new Lava Plume gives it an additional burn chance. The most I can say for Jinx is that it gets Focus Blast and Grass Knot by TM. It's still good. Technically, the easiest way to get Jinx is the Odd Egg and Crystal, since breeding a Smoochum from a Pokemon right before the 8th gym is not a great idea. However, it feels wrong to completely remove Smoochum's level up moves from the list, so here's a little bonus. Smoochum's moves that it gets in Gen 2 that Jinx does not learn in either of the games are Sweet Kiss, Confusion, and Psychic. Yes, Jinx doesn't learn a Psychic move by level up. Farfetch'd is faring extremely good. It gets Fury Cutter by level up, and it's a Gen 2 TM that it didn't even learn back then. But we're mostly looking for Knockoff and Aerial Ace and Night Slash and Pluck and U-Turn and Roost and Poison Jab and Xatu was kind of a sad case back in Gen 2 with its lack of options, but Tailwind and Wish letting it help out the team, Ominous Wind and Shadow Ball and Silver Wind are really cool, and it still doesn't get Psychic. Now, I didn't know in my initial research that you could get Quillfish in both generations before the post-game, but you can get Quillfish, which is really cool. As for what Quillfish actually does, well, Poison Point and Swift Swim give it some options, and Stockpile, Revenge, Poison Jab, Destiny Bond, you can cook with a Quillfish. Tentacruel's new Cleared Body ability prevents it from having its stats changed by the opponent. Water Pulse and Poison Jab by level up are cool, as well as Ice Beam and Waterfall by TM. Just the pure fact that Kingler has Physical Stab is enough to use Kingler. Shuckle can give power to the player by swapping its offense and defense with the move Power Trick. Staryu and Starmie's new Illuminate ability kinda sucks, but Natural Cure is pretty good. The new move Cosmic Power boosts both of its defenses at the same time, in addition to Power Gem being cool. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Flash Cannon by TM are also pretty helpful. Shellder and Cloyster's new Skill Link ability lets it hit its new move Icicle Spear for 5 times every single time it's used, and its new move of Ice Shard is priority, so you're looking to pick off any random limping opponent. And you get Whirlpool by Level Up. Corsola, getting Power Gem, Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball is almost a completed moveset just right there. The other Pokemon I didn't know was available pre-Elite Four in Gen 2 was Octillery, by way of a Remoraid Swarm in Gold and Silver. Sniper is an interesting ability, but just look at the new moves it gets. Gunk Shot, Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, Signal Beam, Blizzard, Psychic, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, Fire Blast, Waterfall, Flash Can. Whatever you want with Octillery, you have. A water type being immune to electric is very good for Lantern. Stockpile, Charge, and Aqua Ring give it some longevity, and the new moves Signal Beam, Discharge, and Ice Beam really round out Lantern's moves. Dugong's Thick Fat ability changes it from being neutral to fire to resisting fire, and having an 8 times resistance against ice. As for the new moves it gets, Signal Beam, Ice Shard, Aqua Jet, Sheer Cold, Dive, Aqua Tail, and the TM for Icy Wind from Gen 2 in its level up moveset alone. Lickitung is a Gen 1 normal type that evolves into the new Gen 4 normal type of Licky Licky, but that still means that it learns a laundry list of moves, including Whirlpool. Stop it, Gen 4, please. Tangela also evolves into the new Tangrowth and gains the Chlorophyll ability, doubling its speed in the sun. Its new moves of Ancient Power, Power Whip, and Knock Off by Level Up are pretty good. Solar Beam, Earthquake, Reflect, Aerial Ace, Payback, Sword Stance. Tangela and Tangrowth are looking very strong. Eevee gets the moves Last Resort and Trump Card, which are pretty cool. It also permanently gains Baton Pass, which was Crystal exclusive. It was not in Gold and Silver. And, hey, you can dig. Vaporeon has Water Absorb with Aqua Ring and Muddy Water, as well as Ice Beam. Jolteon has Volt Absorb with Thunderfang, Discharge, and Thunderbolt. Flareon has Flash Fire with Fire Fang, Fire Blast, a Gen 2 TM, and Lava Plume, and Flamethrower, which was level up in Gen 2, now only a TM in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Espeon gets the ability Synchronize, as well as Future Sight, Light Screen, and Reflect, as well as Grass Knot as new moves, and notably is one of the few Pokemon that keeps Swift. Umbreon also has the Synchronize ability, and gains the new moves of Assurance, Taunt, Payback, and Dark Pulse. Seadra and Kingdra are pretty interesting. Seadra's Poison Point ability changes to Swift Swim upon evolving into Kingdra, or you can have both of them have the ability Sniper. As for moves, Yawn, Bubble Beam, Brine, Dragon Dance, and Dragon Pulse are pretty good as level up moves, and Ice Beam and Flash Cannon from TM. Seadra only misses Yawn and Dracometer in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They're completely identical in Gen 2. Gligar's Sand Veil ability allows it to dodge moves while Sandstorm is up. Its new moves of Knock Off, the Gen 2 TM for Fury Cutter in its level up moveset, Sword Stance by level up, U-Turn by level up, and X-Scissor by level up are amazing, as well as getting Earthquake, Dig, and Aerial Ace by TM. Sadly, Gligar doesn't get to join the I Evolved of this generation club because Gliscor's item is in the Battle Frontier, but Gligar's still cool. Whatever Santa has done to Delibird has made its abilities make it seem like it's on drugs. Either way, it gets nothing by level up. Swinub, Piloswine, and Mamoswine all differ in level up moves, which is just very strange, but par for the course for this generation. Regardless, let's look over Piloswine and Mamoswine. Their new ability of Snow Cloak is pretty good, allowing them to dodge moves while Hail is going. I'm having a stroke reading through their level up moveset, so I'll just point out Ice Shard and Ancient Power are new moves. Earthquake was a Gen 2 TM, as well as Mud Slap and Icy Wind. Very interesting to see those here. Ice Fang is also a new move, very good. And Ice Beam by TM. If Ursaring is statused, it's either gaining attack or gaining speed thanks to its Guts or Quick Feet abilities. New moves of Charm and Hammer Arm are pretty interesting, but looking at its TM move list, Rock Tomb, Aerial Ace, and Sword Stance, Payback, and Avalanche are pretty cool. Donphan gets the Elemental Fangs, Magnitude, Assurance, and Giga Impact by level up. Mantine is an interesting case. It gets Swift Swim to boost its speed in rain, or Water Absorb to absorb water. Its new moves of Psybeam, Bullet Seed, Signal Beam, and the Gen 2 TM for Headbutt, as well as Aqua Ring, Bounce, Water Pulse, and Hydro Pump are really cool. Ice Beam, Earthquake, and Aerial Ace are interesting TMs, but Mantine is pretty sick. Skarmory doesn't seem to gain a whole lot, but having Spikes, Slash, Night Slash, Aerial Ace, Roost, and Payback are pretty cool. Dodrio is hilariously late in this new Pokédex order, but it gets Pluck and Quick Attack now. Rapidash also gains Quick Attack in addition to Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Flame Wheel, Bounce, and Flare Blitz, and the TM for Strength. Marowak gets Rockhead for its new Double Edge move, and okay, it gets some special moves. Aerial Ace. But a fun fact is that Cubone barely makes this list by appearing in the Crystal Goldenrod City Game Corner and the Heart Gold and Soul Silver base Desert Safari Zone. Rhydon is very important to the Pokemon series as a whole, so he gets a whole lot of new moves. Like Whirlpool. Lapras gets the ability Water Absorb in case it needed to do any better against water types defensively. Ice Shard and Sheer Cold are funny new moves, as well as Thunderbolt and Dragon Pulse. Raiku's new level up moves bang, with Thunderfang and Discharge being great electric moves. Calm Mind to boost its special attack and special defense, Extra Sensory as a new Psychic type coverage option, and the TM for Rain Dance by Level Up. Very, very interesting. By TM, it also gets Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball, and Cut and Strength if you're feeling funny. Entei also follows a similar path of Raikou with Fire Fang, Lava Plume, and Eruption, as well as Extra Sensory and Calm Mind. Thankfully, Suicune has a little more going on with the addition of Tailwind and Blizzard to its moveset, Ice Beam and Shadow Ball by TM, but it lost Water Gun from Gold and Silver only, and Roar by Level Up, which is also Gold and Silver only, which very, very strange. I mean, of course Dragonite was going to have a lot more new options, but interesting note is that it keeps Fire Punch and Thunder Punch from the Gen 2 TM list, as well as getting the new Dragon Dance move. And Wing Attack. Lugia gains the new move of Weather Ball, which changes depending upon what weather is out, as well as it gets Dragon Rush for some reason. Extra Sensory, Calm Mind are pretty cool, and Sky Attack is funny. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Aerial Ace, Dragon Pulse, Roost by TM are pretty good. I mean, it's Lugia, what were we expecting? It's gonna be good. And finally, the last Pokemon on our list is the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh. Like Lugia, it gets Weather Ball, Calm Mind, and Extra Sensory by Level Up, but it also gets the new move Brave Bird. On the TM side, you get Solar Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Aerial Ace, and Roost, which, I mean, you are already having solid options to go around. Now that we've gone through all the Pokemon, let's go over some of the move changes. First off, we have the category. The great physical special split has happened. Now attacks will do damage based on the move itself rather than being labeled physical or special based on what type the move is. Several examples of this exist, like Crunch being special and Gust being physical before Gen 4. Also, moves can now make contact with the opposing Pokemon, which is only really relevant to certain abilities like Static. Typically, mostly physical moves are the ones making contact, and most special moves don't. It's pretty obvious to tell if you're actually making contact with the other Pokemon. A Fire Punch is going to be pretty different than a Rock Throw. Several moves have changed their power. Low Kick went from 50 power to being weight dependent. Dig and Dive were changed from 60 base power to 80 base power. Fly got increased from 70 to 90 power. High Jump Kick went from the low 85 power to 110. Jump Kick, the weaker version, went from 70 to 85. Leaf Blade went from 70 to 90. Outrage went from 90 to 120. Petal Dance went from 70 to 90, which is still far too low for what kind of a move it is. And Rock Smash is up from 20 power to 40 power. Spit Up was listed as 100 power in Gen 3, which was kinda inaccurate. It deals damage of 100 power times the number of times Stockpile was used, a maximum of 3, and could not crit. It's now changed to display the dash power, I guess, and it can crit. Zap Cannon was increased from 100 to 120 power. For accuracy changes, Low Kick changed from 90 to 100%. Mimic was changed from 100% to no accuracy check, as well as Pain Split and Bide. Razor Wind went from 75 accuracy to 100% accuracy. I mean, it's still not getting used. Disable went from 55 accuracy to 80% accuracy. Jesus Christ, was it really 55 accuracy? That's... Flash was changed from 70% accuracy to 100%, which is very, very much welcome. Foresight was changed from 100% to no accuracy check, in addition with Lock On. Memento switches it up from going from no accuracy check to 100% accuracy. Mind Reader goes from 100% to no accuracy check. Nightmare goes from no accuracy check to 100%. Odor Sleuth and Struggle go from 100% to no accuracy check. Effect changes. Acid changed from lowering defense to special defense, and Crunch changed from lowering special defense to physical defense. Twin Needle's 20% chance to poison has increased to 36%, weirdly. Volt Tackle was given a 10% chance to paralyze, and Waterfall was giving a 20% chance to flinch, which I am very happy about. For priority, we only have 4 changes here. Endure was bumped up from +2 to +3. Roar went from -1 to -6. Whirlwind also goes from -1 to -6. And Bite is up from 0 to +1. As for a couple move interactions, Conversion 2 can no longer be blocked by Protect for you Porygon fans out there. Mean Look, Nightmare, and Spiderweb now are blocked by Protect. This is post-editing Mage here. I wanted to record the outro after I edited because, you know, I'm just full of great ideas. Doing this little video again has made me understand what I have fixed from editing the last one and what I will take into the next one when it comes around. Anyways, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for at least watching this video or the Heart Gold and Soul Silver video or just any of my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you would be so kind as to give me a like on the video, that would really help out my mental state, because the last few months have been interesting, let's say. I'm yawning myself to sleep, so I'm going to end off this video here, and then go and either sleep or start time-stamping this video. So that's gonna be fun. Either way, I hope you have a good day. That new shirt that you bought looks very, very nice on you. And go enjoy your bed.